All right, welcome to the Franchise Time Machine. I hope uh, I hope my system holds up. My Wi-Fi was cutting out during a speed draft earlier, which was about the worst timing possible. Um, it went out 5 times. It took a little bit to reconnect every time, and I finished 12 rounds of the speed draft. Yeah, it was fantastic, Tampa. It was so stressful. And the good thing is, like, it was a live. I think it was a live speed draft, and at least I didn't get like Aaron Judge in the first round. If I had gotten Judge or Otani and then wasted that with with Wi-Fi outages, I would have been upset. But I think my perfect player was either it was Bobby Witt Jr. I think so, like okay, but not great. And so if I'm gonna lose one, I'd rather lose one like that. All right, so here's what we're doing tonight. If you've been watching, you know what's going on. If you haven't been, the last few streams, I've been trying to figure out a recurring question on the stream, which is when we do like an all-time roster, there's always a question around like which Barry Bonds do we take. The same thing happens with like Willie Mays. Which Willie Mays do you take? And there are a handful of players like that where they're so good they have multiple peak seasons, and depending on what era they're in or what years they played in, it's sometimes hard to compare across seasons to really know which one we should grab. And then I realized, well, we have this completely experimental league. We could just add, you know, 8 versions of a player to each, one version to each team, and have them play a season and see which team finishes first. We could go by wins. Lately, we've been going by runs scored to test offense, right? So if they're batters, maybe we go by runs scored. But the problem has been when we did bonds, whatever you know, whatever decision criteria you choose, we had a different answer. Um, so I set up so all 8 teams play in the same division, so they play each other. I believe the same number of times, and we went with okay, well, what's the regular season champion? The top 2 teams play each other in the World Series. So who's the World Series champion? Who scores the most runs? Who has the best run differential? Which bonds in the league had the highest OPS? Which had the highest WAR? And so first we did it with 1 bonds per team. The 02 team won the championship. The 92 team won the World Series. The 02 team won most runs and run differential. The 01 bonds had the highest regular season OPS, and the 03 had the highest regular season WAR. Now, the further down the list you go, the more I think specific impact Bonds has on the results. And if I'm going to say that, I should probably flip World Series champion and regular season champion, because World Series championship is a super small sample size. But, the individual OPS and WAR, highly under the control of the player profile. So there were so many different bonds depending on which result you think is the definitive one. I thought, okay, well, let's do the same thing, but instead we'll add 3 versions of bonds to each team. We'll give him right field ability, so he can play DH left and right. So we should get extra sample size, and hopefully that would help us get to a more definitive answer. And it didn't work. I mean, one thing it did do is it narrowed it down to 92 and 02, basically. Which is surprising because every time we've talked about this, this usually comes down to 01 or 04. 01 is when he hit 73 home runs. 04 is when he had, I think, his career high OPS. But neither of those appear here. So then just for fun, I thought, well, let's put the teams with 3 bonds per team in a tournament. Best of 9 tournament. there's a skinny Bond side of the bracket and a big Bond side of the bracket, and let's just have them play it out. And when you get to the small sample size, that's when the '04 Bonds actually uh, won most of the categories. Ezra Denny, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. We've been doing experiments that involve the San Francisco Giants legend Barry Bonds. You may not know him as John Dowd. We could have done this with Willie Mays too, because the same question comes with Willie Mays, which is, for the benefit of the Raiders, we've been doing some experiments to help figure out, can we use our experimental league to determine like what actually is the peak version of Bonds or the peak version of Willie Mays, for the purposes of selecting one for our various roster builds. And the Bonds results were very puzzling. And I was going over them real briefly because one thing I start to wonder is maybe just the methodology is flawed. Maybe adding one or even three Bonds to a completely average league, one or three per team, right? So there's an '04 team, an '03 team. Need more clear and maybe more cream? Yes. So I thought, to test the methodology, let's just use a player that we know has a peak season. And I don't know of a player with a bigger difference from his peak to the rest of his career than Brady Anderson. There probably are some, but he's the one that like really sticks out for me. He has peak sideburns for sure. I was gonna mention when I was selecting these pictures for the title page, I was gonna mention his sideburns, but Ezra beat me to it. Yes, peak sideburns for sure. So for those of you not familiar, let me pull up Brady Anderson's career here in BREF. Trim those sideburns, Mattingly. Let's see. All right, here's BREF. I had to reboot. My system was being problematic earlier today, so gotta get resituated here. I'm gonna resize this BREF window. Okay. So here's his BREF. Baseball-reference.com. All right, so this is why he comes to mind for me when I think of a person with a clear peak season. All right, so career 256 hitter, respectable major league average. 210 career home runs over 15 seasons. Now, granted, some of those are, shorter seasons at the beginning or end of the career, but, that's what, about 14 home runs a year? Right, not bad. All right, so here's his career. He starts off 207, 636 OPS, 4 home runs. Now, these are half seasons, right? He's getting 300 plate appearances, roughly. First full season in 92, he leads the league in plate appearances. Hits 271, 823 OPS, jumps up to 21 home runs. Not bad. Is an all-star. 93, 263, 788, 13 home runs. Now, in 92, Ezra mentioned, he's a 50-50 guy for his career. He stole 53 bases. Drops down to 24 and 12 caught stealing, so not very efficient. But in 94, strike short in 94 season, again hits 263, 776 OPS, 12 home runs. But steals 31 bases against only one caught stealing, right? So maybe becoming a better, more selective base stealer. 95, again, very consistent, 262, right? He's a point within his average for the last 2 seasons. 815 OPS, 16 home runs. And then out of nowhere, 1996, 50 bombs, 297 average, almost hits 300, 1034 OPS. That's over 150 points more than I think his next highest OPS. And it's an all-star. The next season, still an all-star, hits 288, respectable, 863 OPS, 18 home runs. We'll skip ahead to 99. He hits his second highest home run total of 24. 282 average. Again, very respectable batting average, 881 OPS. Right? He never, before or after that 50 home run season, he never hits even half of that. So, to me, this is a guy with a very clear peak season. And it's the peakiest of peaks. Right? It sticks way above the rest of his seasons. So what I thought is, okay, let's just test the methodology. If we pick 8 Brady Anderson seasons, including 96, and 96 does not come out on top, then these experiments have been fun, but clearly I have to find a different way to choose peak Barry Bonds. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to run Brady Anderson through the 3 Brady Anderson version of the test. And let's see what happens. Now for the pack giveaway form, I think we'll just copy the one we used for the 3 versions of Bonds experiment. So let me find that and then I'll put it up in the stream and we can edit it. I think it's this one. Let's see. Yes. Let me copy this. What is this? Episode 309. All right, let me update the title and then I'll put it in the chat. Okay, so here's the form. Okay, which Anderson, the times 3 method. We're going to bring 3 versions of him into... Well, actually, what positions did he play? We may have to give him some extra fielding ability. Okay, most season looks like he has center field and left field. So he'll at least get to play 2 positions. Now in 96, he only plays center field. So we'll just note that we'll also give him left field ability. And of course, DH, you don't need fielding ability at all. But we want the 3 versions to be able to play. So I'll put that in the form. Okay. And tonight's stream, we will be testing the methodology we've been considering for choosing the peak season of a player. We'll be using Brady Anderson, who has a clear peak season in, and again, I want to say it's 95, is that right? No, 96. 96. Let me see. You grabbed Brady off of fantasy waivers early that season. That's incredible, Ollie North. Now, there's no way you had an inkling that he did 50 bombs, but like 50 bombs. But like, what about him led you to grab? Did you just need a center fielder, or did you think he was going to have a better season than usual? $297 with 1.034 OPS, both career highs. 288 and 0.881. Okay. As we did with Barry Bonds, we will add 8 different versions of Brady Anderson. All right, and so the only difference in the teams will be which version of Brady Anderson they get. And then this stuff I can delete. I didn't do a previous Brady Anderson test. Now this I'm going to move up. To increase our sample size, each team will receive 3 clones of the same Brady Anderson. Each will be given left field in addition to center field. But for the numerical questions, guesses should be for individual Brady Andersons. And not all 3. And not totals for all 3 on the team. Okay. Now, again, I do believe, if I recall correctly, yes, he does. Brady Anderson bats and throws lefty. All the pitchers in the league are righty. North said it was just for his hot bat at first, and then he just kept on going. Urgent was just going to stream him until he went cold. Also got A-Rod that year. That sounds amazing. I'm surprised you won your league between those 2, plus your actual drafted stuff. That's awesome. Okay. All 8 teams will play in one division size league. That's still the same. To allow each Brady Anderson to play to his full potential, modifiers will be off. So there will still be era-based modifiers to make you feel like 2024, but totals-based modifiers will be turned off. And this is a reminder: all batters and pitchers in the league are right-handed, and the Brady Andersons. I copied this. I thought I cut it, so we can delete that. As usual, closest answer wins. You can be over and still be correct. People ask about the settings sometimes, so it's a 162 game season. 2024 run environment. Usual settings: no injuries, no suspensions, personality, chemistry, morale, development all off, trades off. So the era modifiers will be on, but auto calc will be off, meaning uh, the new players will not be there will not be totals modifiers for the new players being added. Okay, so the questions are they still which team? Okay, so this has to be changed. Actually, let's just take out the name, so then we can use these questions if we run this test again. I'm almost certainly going to have to run it for Willie Mays, maybe for Ted Williams too, if the methodology holds up. Okay, so which seasons are we going to grab? We need 8 of them. Excuse me. Hold on a second. I'm choking. Hold on. All right. Sorry, I muted myself so I wouldn't cough into the microphone too much. Apologize for that. Okay. So we definitely want 86 or 96. It's probably a number of seasons on either side of Tampa. Thank you. I did hydrate while I was muted. Thank you. I don't have that command set up in here, but all right. So we'll take 96. He started playing full time basically in 92. So we can take 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99 would be 8. And then he still has a pretty predictive 19 home run season, but he's down to 257. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we'll start with this 21 home run season. We'll end with the 24 home run season, and we'll get the 50 home run season in between. You're gonna use channel voice to make me hydrate if I had it? Yeah, I don't have it in there either. Okay, so we're gonna do 92 through 99. 92 through 99. Actually, we can just go 92, 93, 1994, 1995, 1996, 1997, 1998. All right, which team will win the most regular season games? Okay, then which one will score the most regular season runs? So let's just copy this. Right, the runs scored is the other metric we use. So we use that here as well. Okay, now the other question is going to be which one's going to score the fewest runs? Or which one's going to win the fewest games? All right, so win the most games, score the most runs. Win the fewest games, score the fewest runs. Okay. And which team? You know what? Let's take out the fewest one. I think that's. I'd rather. I don't want these to decide the tie. Let's have the numericals decide the tiebreakers. So we'll take out the fewest questions. Okay. Which team will win the World Series? So we're gonna keep that one. All right, it's gonna be played between the first and second place regular season teams. The first place team is the champion, and then it looks for a wild card. The wild card will be the second place team. Kitty Poo Poo, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support for the channel. 7 months, no less. Yeah, you were here for some early streams. Appreciate Kitty Poo Poo. And for those of you who are maybe relatively new to the channel, with the subscription, Kitty Poo Poo will get channel points faster, which is just the Twitch thing. But I also offer a discounted rate for redeeming channel points to play our on-stream community games, which I am going to start up pretty soon, maybe as early as next week. Creator roster, Force 4 trades. We've got a bunch that are both done with fictional players. They're going to be played in the 2024 season, so that'll be a different run environment than we did last year. Or we have a bunch that use historical players and use the team and season of your choice, where we look to see how much you can improve your favorite team through a variety of different options that I give you for improving that team. So thank you, Kitty Poo Poo. All right, so which team is going to win the World Series? And then let's go right to the... Now, I think in this time, it should be a tie, because the whole reason we're choosing Brady Anderson is because he's had such a clear peak season. So hopefully it'll go to the numericals. But the one tricky question I want to ask you is, who is going to lose the World Series? So who is the second best of the teams? Which team will lose the World Series? Then we'll get to the numerical questions. Okay. How many regular season wins by the regular season champion? Again, it's a 162 game season. The number of wins they get should be somewhat reflective of how much better that peak season is than the other seasons. Tampa wants to see how we set up creator roster this version, so you can run a few tests. Yeah, I absolutely encourage people to run their own creator roster tests. Brady's two best seasons were inverse, a 20-50 and a 50-20. Oh, that's very interesting. Wait, let's pull that back up. That's really cool, Ollie North. As Lap might say, that's some serendipity. I like when that happens in baseball. Okay, so... Oh, that's right. The 52 stolen base season, he had 21 home runs. And it's his first season as a starter. So... what a splash as a regular, right? He goes up from roughly 300 plate appearances the last 3 seasons. He gets a full run, leads the majors in plate appearances, and goes 20-50. And then in the peak season we're looking at in 1996, he hits 50 home runs and steals 21 bases. Not bad. Very cool. I like that, Ollie North. Thanks for pointing that out. So yeah, how many games is this team going to win in the regular season? And then how many regular season home runs hit by the league leader in home runs? Presumably it will be a Brady Anderson, because he's the only one who's above league average in power. How many regular season... Now, this was because it was Barry Bonds. Maybe this should be stolen bases. By the league leader in stolen bases. And it might not be Brady Anderson. It might be someone else. 20. What was it, 20 or 21 in this season? Uh, 21. So 21, I believe, will be above league average, but by not a huge margin. So one of the average players could lead the league, but I think it'll probably be Brady Anderson still. And then let's do RBI. And again, the new rule is we're not going these. This isn't Survivor style. Whoever gets the most numerical answers right, or is closest on the most numerical answers, is who's going to win. And that's been pretty fun. So we're going to keep doing that. And then batting average, OPS, and WAR. Now you can guess any batting average. It doesn't have to be Brady Anderson. Just guess whatever you think the highest batting average in the league will be. What did Brady hit that year? I think he said 298, right? 297. Right. So I'm pretty sure he'll lead the league in batting average. But what will he hit? OPS, he'll probably lead the league. WAR, he'll probably lead the league. All right. So those are the questions. We've really narrowed down the early upfront questions, right? It's just who's going to win the most games, who's going to score the most runs, which team's going to win the World Series, which team will lose the World Series. In other words, which team will be the second best team, or first or second best team in the regular season, and then will lose in the World Series. And then a bunch of numerical questions. So let me put that form in the chat, and then we'll build the roster file for this. All right, link to form for tonight's 10-pack giveaway. All right, good luck, everybody. Let me pin that to the chat. All right, let me take care of one thing here real quick. Okay. All right, looks like everything's working all right. All right, now to build the roster file, I like to use the Notepad application on my PC. But you can use any program that can output a TXT or a text file. And I'll show you what it's going to look like. Well, here's the bonds one from the last set of experiments. Oops, I thought I pulled up the bonds one. Let me... Yeah, here's the one from bonds. So it's going to look like this. Player ID, the year, the version, the year version that we're pulling. And normally we also do comma and then a 3 or 4 letter abbreviation for the destination. But because we want to bypass the free agency pool and go straight to a roster. Tonight, though, we want to assign those players to different teams, so we're just going to have them import into the free agency pool. It'll actually be more convenient tonight to have them come into the free agency pool. Late Tate says, I think the years for who will win-lose World Series are having Bonds years. I don't think I quite follow what that means, but if you want to clarify, I would appreciate it. Okay, so so the reason we use Baseball Reference is because the URL up here in the URL is the baseball reference player ID, which is also the OOTP player ID. It's very handy that they are the same. So that's the first 5 letters of the last name, the first 2 letters of the first name, and then 01 if they're the first player with those letters. Or it goes up from there if there have been other players with that combination. All right, so let's just copy that. We just need 8 versions of this. So that's 2. That's 4. And that's 8. You can't pick 96 to win? Did I type the form up wrong? It looks like it should work. I thought maybe you meant that I skipped 96 in the form, but it is in there. But it's not letting you choose it? That's weird. Oh, I forgot also, we're doing 3 versions of each Brady Anderson. So I need to copy this 2 more times. Okay. So is anyone else having that problem that you can't select 96? It looks like you're missing updates on the number 5 and 6 questions. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the World Series. Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. The copy didn't flow through. All right, everyone ignore. I'm unpinning. Ignore the version you have right now. Now I understand the question. Now I understand the problem. Thank you for clarifying it. I'm going to correct that here very quickly. I copied the wrong question. So, okay. So regular season games, regular season runs. So then we'll copy this, and then I'm going to add the question, which team will win the World Series? And delete this old one with the Bonds years. And then copy this. And duplicate this. Which team will win the World Series? Which team will lose the World Series? And I can lose this question. Okay. Very typical of me to screw up something like that. Thank you for catching it. All right, I've saved the new version. We're going to put the new link in the chat. Okay. And let's go back to this. Okay. Updated link to tonight's 10-pack giveaway form. And you do not have to be present to win. You can go ahead and submit one. If you have to take off, that's fine. I will still get you your packs. Okay, so 392s. 393s. 394s. 395s. 396s, 397s, 398s, 399s, and that's it. Okay. So the file is now complete. And now we just save this. Any name that you can remember. I called it Best Brady Anderson times 3. All right, so that's done. Yeah, so let's go back into, we can go into the base game now. Oh, this is what I'm on in the game. I was admiring my win in the daily snacking hour. 100 Clubhouse stars. This happened today. Here's my roster. This is a double PD. I've only been successful in double PDs this cycle. In previous versions of Perfect Team, I played in 25 and played in the last part of 24. I've been pretty good at perfectos. I was very good at nearly perfects, and I was very good at the silver and gold only perfect drafts. I have always been very bad at the traditional perfect draft format. So it didn't surprise me when I saw that I was making a run in a tournament that it was a double PD. The only kind I've done well in so far. So I was going to look at what happened here in the championship. Max, I have not played the silver gold cap yet, partly because I don't have a lot of cards yet. But as soon as there's a silver gold PD, I will be all over that. All right, so we lost the first two. Then we won 3 in a row. Then we lost game 6 to tie, let them tie it 3-3, and then we won the game 7 8-5. And we were pretty much in control for most of game 7 there. No big, wild, crazy swings of the win probability graph. Kitty Poop has been playing more base game instead of Perfect Team. Yeah, although I will say Perfect Team has been pretty fun this year. The cards have been interesting. I like that they started with 0 combi and combi cap tournaments. They've continued the trend of live cards being relevant in non-live tournaments. Although I do like they added the bronze non-live, because I think I won that and came in second already in that since they've added in. And I also think, and Max, you might know more. You'll certainly know more about this. I feel like the auction house has slowed the development of fully boosted all combi teams. Is that true, or have I just been lucky and not come across as many? It's more the card boosting. Oh, okay. And there's no combistry, right? I'm sure that helps a lot too. Underdog tried a new tourney today. You got a win in the Daily Live Open. Oh, fantastic. That's awesome. Bought a perfect pack with the stars and pulled Rome and Anthony. Very nice. Congratulations. That's a double win for you. And frankly, at this stage of the cycle, even if you get a live perfect, if you get a good one with PT Live still going on, that's a heck of a pull too. But nicely done on the Roman Anthony. All right, so we got 100 more. So I've been using my Clubhouse stars to buy gold packs, trying to build up some more PT Live players, but the boosts are smaller than in 25. You have to get to 100% for upgrading, no chem. Yeah, so I think all that probably helps. Ah, Kitty Poo Poo's doing a Pirates fantasy draft save. That's fun. Yeah, there's so much fun you can have in the base game. So that's why I still do lots of base game play, but I have been enjoying Perfect Teams. I still do a lot of tournaments. I don't really love the league play, Perfect Team league play, but I do enjoy the tournaments. And saving people from just filling low buy orders. Oh, in the auction house, you mean? So that was fun. Won a tournament. I'll probably buy more gold packs with those clubhouse stars. Trying to stay competitive in PT Live. You get what the card is worth. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. All right. So let's open a new game. Oh, Walla, you made it to the World Series in high silver. Bummer that you lost, but congrats on making it there. So Average League 8 is the one we're going to use. And this will be Experiment Brady A V1. View for Brady and. It doesn't let you have very long file names. That's why I'm being kind of cryptic with the file name there. All right, so we are going to be commissioner mode, cannot be fired. Now, one thing we have to change right away, and I should actually save the quick start here. Oh, no. The reason I don't save this is for a lot of our experiments, we want to leave our modifiers off. So I'm not going to save the quick start. I just have to remember to do this when we do a test like this. We're going to lock the modifiers and turn off AutoCalc. So we're locking in the 2024 modifiers, but we're not going to let it do any additional modifiers as we bring in all the Brady Andersons. 2003 Oak got a Roman Anthony variant today. That's awesome. Wow. And Walla Walla, the koala, pulled the 100 Bob James from packs from drops. That's great too. Man, I feel like I should be ripping packs, but I'm going to wait till Twipped. I'm going to wait till Thursday. I want a chance at new cards, so I'm going to wait till Tuesday. Or not Tuesday, Thursday. All right, and then we need to update the mailbox because that's not part of the quick start. And we need to update the do not disturb options. Okay, so let's save that now. We'll just save that as the... It is PT SAS, that's right. I'm on track to qualify for... I'm at the last update, I was in 5, and I think I have a chance to get into 8 or 9. We'll have to see what happens. Because the threshold for 128th place also keeps moving. So it's hard to predict. All right, so let's go ahead and set up the team names. $19.92. Actually, I could just call it 92. Why does it add an extra space in there? That's kind of annoying. 95. 96. 97. Okay, that should be it. If we switch teams here and then come back, it should update the menu. Yep. All right, so now we can go to the free agency pool. This is where you import and create players. So you go to the manager name, GM and manager actions. Oh, I have to be running a team to go there, which I think is kind of annoying. That you have to be running a team to go to the free agency pool. That seems a little unnecessary, but okay, I'm currently running the 92 team. So now it'll let me go GM and manager actions, sign a free agent. And then if you're in commissioner mode, you'll have this actions menu. You can create fictional players, like for create a roster, but tonight we'll be importing historical players from historical_database. Up here is where you can import players one at a time, but we're going to use the file I created earlier, which is Best Brady Anderson times 3. Underdog's been buying perfect packs waiting to get lives for PTCS and have pulled Sasaki and Anthony back to back. You know, Underdog, during my pack ripping session last Thursday, I had a bunch of gold packs that I've been buying, trying to get cards for PTCS or for PT Live. And wouldn't you know it, when you're looking for live cards, I kept getting tons of gold historics. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a dozen in a row. And of course, you know, when it's post PT Live and the live cards don't matter anymore, it's all live cards. Oh, also for the missions. The live golds would be good for the missions too. But of course, I got all historics. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. It was uncanny. I don't think he has any small sample size seasons in there, but just in case, we'll take these down. Peak seasons of career, fielding ratings from imported season. And we're not importing pitchers, so I don't care about the pitching stuff. So we should get 24 players imported. Max, all you've been getting is live gold? That's funny. You've been getting all the ones I wanted, probably. Alright. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in to each one and just add to the name the year so that when we see leaderboards and stuff, we know which Anderson we're talking about. So here you can see what historical year this one's from. So this is a 99 Anderson. And we'll just add 99A. We'll do A, B, and C for the 3 versions. And you have to hit enter after each one. And we can add him to the 99 team. There we go. And then we can arrow down, and we'll still be in the old list there. Oh, wait a second. You know what I forgot to do? Let's go find that 99 version. I forgot to check his fielding. Okay, he has center field and left field. That's good. We'll go ahead and max out his left field. We'll give him 200. That's just the experience. His experience in left field, we're going to max out. We'll do that for all the Brady Andersons. Okay, so now let's go back to the free agency pool. Okay, we'll just keep going down the list here. Okay, this is also 99. We did A, we already labeled B. This will be 99C. And we'll give him 200 left field. So the AI can put one in left, one in center, and one at DH. That's the intention here. I forgot to assign this one. Okay, so the 99s have all been assigned. This one should be a 98. Yep, 98. So this one has no left field. We're going to add left field. Okay, we'll arrow down. This one should be another 98. It is. 98B. Actually, we can add him right now and then adjust his fielding. And this will be 98C. Seven A. This will be 97B. And this will be 97C. This is 96A. This will be 96B. Okay, so this should be a 95. It is 95A. Oh, he already has left field. Nice. So this will be 95B. C. Let me just make sure that he has, yep. So now there should be 94, and he's already got left field. Very nice. It is 94. 94A. will be 94B. Let's just make sure he has a fielding. He does. And this will be the 94C. This should be the 93 team. '93A. Check the fielding. He does have left field. This will be 93B. And this will be 93C. Okay. And then 92. He only has left field, so we have to give him center field. '92A. This will be 92B, giving him center field. And 92C. And for those of you enjoying the PTCS roster build chat going on Friday, before PTCS, so this coming Friday, possibly Thursday and Friday, depending on how many teams I qualify, I will be doing PTCS roster building on stream instead of experiments and sims. This is a tradition I started second half of PT25 because I was dying pulling all-nighters before PTCS. No, I do it on stream so I can sleep, Max. Before, I would try to do a stream and then build my rosters, and then I would be up building rosters until the sun came up. So now Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, I do the roster building on stream so that I'm not double dipping. I still end up staying up pretty late, but at least I don't stay up till the sun comes up. Maybe don't have so many teams. I know, but I like participating so much. Don't be Doc and spend all stream building and then forget to load. No, if anything, I do perfect drafts and then I fall asleep before I finish them. I've never done that on stream, though. I haven't done that on stream. All right, so I think all the teams are set. So now the next thing we have to do is we have to go and make sure that the AI sets up the rosters properly. Okay, they're already, looks like they're pretty good. Center field, left field, DH. That looks good. DH, left field, center field. Slightly different there. Center field, left field. Oh, and then the DH is batting fifth on that team. The 95 version. Center field, left field, DH. First, third, and fourth. The 96 team. Left field, DH, center field. First, third, and fourth. The 97 team. All right, why is he not starting one of the Brady Andersons? That makes no sense. Let's ask for lineups. I did give him. Oh, I wonder if he thinks the center field rating is too low. No, because he is starting. So he's not starting in left, but the left field rating is way higher than average. Okay, so I want to make this one start in left. Oh, I have to make myself in charge of the 97 team to do this. Okay, now I can give him game strategy. We're going to force you to start in left field. Now if we go to your lineups, it should... It's still not starting him in left. Why would it not start you in left? We had this issue with the 91 Bonds team last night too. He's got a 65 rating in left field. There's no reason he should not be starting in left field. Oh, now it's the... Okay, I tried to force his start in left. It put him in center for some reason. All right. How about this? You're going to have to start in center. And you are going to have to start at DH. Now let's ask for lineups. It's still not starting him in left. Okay, it's starting them all out of position. Why is it not listening to me? Clear all lineups. Let's start again. Even the one playing center field is not the one that I said must start in center field. Do I need to lock? What happens if I lock these? Why does my bench coach... I don't even have a bench coach because I have coaching disabled. There's no personnel. All right, has anyone come across this before? This happened with the 91 Bonds team last night too. And I think what I had to do is just kind of had to force it, and on the other ones, Brady's been leading off, so we'll do that. I just don't understand why it's not doing it itself. So let's see. A is now DHing. B is now in left. And let me unlock this too. This one's in left. C is now in center. Okay. Hopefully this works. We'll ask the AI for depth charts. Now let's check the depth charts. I want Brady Anderson's backing up Brady Anderson's if possible. Okay, let's try that. Okay, I'm glad it's the 97 though, not the 96, because then I would be worried about shenanigans. All right, and then let's look at the 98 team. Again, one of the Brady Andersons is on the bench. So we'll put this Brady in left field. And we'll bat at third. All right, watch for depth charts. All right. And then we'll check the 99 team. All right, 99 team looks fine. What I don't understand is what is going on with these two teams that the AI is not wanting to start Brady Anderson over average players. So bizarre. It was 97 and was it 97 and 98 where I had to go do that? 97 and 99, I think. It was 97 and 98. 97 and 98. That's very strange. All right, I think we're done with the setup. Let's go ahead and save this. And we'll save it as a quick start just in case we want to do this again. Okay. So we'll save that. Okay, so I think we're ready to sim. So let me do the 3-minute ad roll so we're not interrupted. Because ads are going to start in 14 and a half minutes if I don't do this now. And this is your 3-minute warning to please complete your pack giveaway forms. And then when I get back, we'll go ahead and fire it up.
Why do you keep following me around? Look.
All right. Sorry, I've been back, but I was eating chips, and I thought I would do that on mute. It was bonus extra time to fill out your forms, though. Is anyone about to hit submit? Otherwise, I will close the form now. Max, are you going to get in on this? Oh, kind of. Did you miss the beginning of the stream where I was going over Brady Anderson's career? He is who comes to my mind first when I think about a player with a clear peak season. He hit 50 home runs one year. He never hit more than half of that any other season in his career. And so, if this approach doesn't identify Brady Anderson as the best Brady Anderson, then that will explain why it's not working for Barry Bonds. He looks like the guy from Lazy Town. Wait, do you mean Crazy Town or is it Lazy Town? I thought it was Crazy Town. Are you referring to his sideburns? All right, I'm going to close the form. I'm not hearing from anyone else saying that they're about to submit, so. All right, closing the form. I do say we often have the best pack giveaway odds in all of OTP. There are 3 of you in the competition tonight. Condolences to the one of you who does not win packs. Yeah, you just have to stay up late to get the best pack giveaway odds in all of OTP. All right, let's take a look at the non-numerical guesses first, and then we'll get to the numericals after the sim. Which team will win the most regular season games? It's a even split between 92, 95, and 96. Which team will score the most regular season runs? 96 with 2, 95 with 1. Which team will win the World Series? 96 with 2, 95 with 1. Which team will lose the World Series? 92 with 2 and 97 with 1. And then the numericals are next, so we'll skip those. Let's I did save this. I saved it as a quick start too. I'm going to save it again just in case. We're going to advance to opening day, and we will see what the AI thinks. We'll look at the AI predictions. Oh, and I'm still managing the 97 team, which I don't want to be doing. None. Okay, MLB. Reports and info. Preseason predictions. Oh my goodness. How is this possible? It thinks the 92 team is going to win the most games, 90 and 72. The 96 Brady Anderson team with 350 home run hitters, it is predicted to have the most home runs, is predicted to finish second, 2 games behind. Did I leave the modifiers on or something? What is happening here? AutoCalc is off. Lock the league totals. All right. Well, we have said before that the AI preseason predictions are not always good at predicting the weird things that we do. because it's weird that the 396 batters, while they are in the top 10, they're only projected to hit 37, 33, and 32 home runs. That's very odd. These are very odd predictions. I'm going to screenshot them. Okay, let's start simming. All right, it's a very tight league. All 8 teams only separated by 6 games 1 month into the season. Well, Kynan, I do think I put most of the information, though, in the form, in the intro to the form. So hopefully there was enough info in there. I did say, I think, in the form, too, that the 96 season is the peak season. Yeah, in 96, when he had 50 home runs, more than 2 times any other season in his career. He also batted 297 with 1034 OPS, both career highs. 288 and 881 were the next highest. So, yeah. No, I gave each team 3 Brady Andersons and gave each Brady Anderson left and center field eligibility. So each team can have 3 Bradys on the team in the lineup at the same time: left, center, and DH. And the modifier should be off, so I don't know why the 96 season is not leading in home runs either. Uh, 97 Anderson is leading. 96 Anderson, which is definitely his peak statistically, is in 4th place. There are 24 Brady Andersons. It's an 8-team league. It's the completely average league, Twins. So every other player in the league is league average, completely average, completely identical, except for Brady Anderson. The 97 Anderson is still in the lead. The top 4, though, are only separated by 4 games. Right, the month of August. '95 has jumped into the lead. '96 has dropped to 5th. Well, let's go week by week. '95 still in the lead, 4 games ahead of '93. '96 has dropped to 7th place. Well, if it's the modifiers issue, Twins, I've turned the modifiers off, so that shouldn't be a problem. Now, we do at least have one of the 96 Andersons leading the league in home runs with 37, but it's still not close to the 50 he hit in '96. Now, again, part of the issue might be we're bringing a bunch of players from the '90s into the 2024 run environment. That might, reveal different weaknesses, but still, 50 home runs. All the other ones hit 24 max. Most of them hit around 12 or 15. So that's such a huge power difference. This Anderson also hit almost 300. The other ones hit in the 250s and 260s. There's just no reason that these 3 should be batting even close to the others. Oh, 96 is now only 6 games behind. Yeah, so 96 finished 5 games behind, tied with 97. It's 95 and 93 advancing to the World Series. 96 tied with 37 home runs. Now, let me look at these ratings. '96 Anderson. So he had 50 home runs, but he only has a 60 power rating. I did set it on 1 year recalc, so this should be just his 96 stats. It should be based just on 96. I don't understand how 50 home runs and a 1034 OPS, 50 home runs in 579 at bats is a 60 power rating. How is that a 60? That's what I don't understand. Yeah, this power rating, it says it would translate into a 27 home run season, which is way off. It should be 60. Recalc based on 1 year. Yeah. So this should be based on just his 96 season, which is a 50 home run season. Base ratings on real stats, yeah. 1 year recalculation base. Yeah, so the main issue I have is if this is actually based on a 50 home run season, why are the ratings then such that it's a 27 home run season? Seems like something worth asking in the forums. Right? If I'm understanding the one season recalc correctly, if this is based on his 96 season, it shouldn't be based on the average of 3 seasons. It should be just based on his 1996 season, which is a 50 home run season, a 298 average. This is a 267 average. I mean, let's look at the 97 team. This is based on 23 home runs and a 265 average. In 97, he had 18 home runs and a 288 average. None of this makes sense to me. This is a 50 power. Well, no, now some of his seasons are probably 50 power seasons, though. This is an 18 home run season. But in 98, he hit 18 home runs, 236 average. This season looks correct. 249, 18 home runs. This is much closer to what it should be versus the 96. What about 95? 55 power. All right. 95, 22 home runs, 267. I think that's actually close. In 95, he hit 16 home runs, 262. Yet for this season where he had 50 home runs and a 297 average, he's a 27 home run, 267 average rating guy, which makes no sense to me. All right, well, let's finish out the sim. I'm going to pursue this on the forums because I think this is way off. Let's screenshot his real life stats too. And it is a one season. They'll probably want to see these settings too. Yeah, right here. Okay, let's yeah, like I said, let's go to the postseason. I think we have to sim one more game. We're at game 161. There's 162. But if this is happening to the 96 Brady Anderson, then it might be happening to the 2004 Bonds and the 2001 Bonds. And so now I'm having a little crisis of faith in the not the game engine, but the importing engine, I guess. The way the players are importing. Like, there's no way this looks like a 96 Brady Anderson should look. So we might have to put a pause on these experiments while I wait to get an answer from the forums. All right, playoff coverage. 95 Anderson versus 93 Anderson. Perhaps his struggles will probably show higher ratings / real life stats. It is a pretty clear outlier season. Right, but that's the whole purpose of me selecting 1 year recalculation, is so that each year it bases it on that year's statistics. So if there's an outlier, the ratings are supposed to follow the outlier. Because the reason some people choose that mode is they want each season to very closely reflect the path of each player's career. So they're choosing that to get those spikes and dips. There are different modes that kind of smooth those out or obscure them so that it doesn't follow so closely the actual trajectory of the career, but we chose the mode specifically that it would follow it. I mean, it's also concerning that if that's going to happen, then any peak season that we import, then it would be under question, right? So if we pull in 98 Bob Gibson, I don't want it to give me a nerfed Bob Gibson because it's saying, oh, well, that was the best season of his career. Like, that should be a box to check or uncheck, you know, like it shouldn't nerf it on its own. It shouldn't like nerf it as an option maybe. But I mean, to me, part of the more than half of the fun of the base game is that you can bring people from all across baseball history across time into whenever sim you're doing. But if it's going to arbitrarily nerf them, then like, what's the fun in that then? I just think there must be some kind of bug. No, 2003 Oak. I totally get it. But my point is like, I don't want a game that's going to do that. I don't want it to, I want it to give me if I, like if I asked for 1927 Babe Ruth, I don't want it to give me some Nerf version because it's a peak season. Um, yeah, I don't understand if it's done on purpose. I don't understand the rationale at all. Uh, Especially given the menu choices we made at the beginning. The menu choices we made at the beginning, at least my understanding is that it should give us the specific year we're asking for and not some like approximation. So I'm a little disappointed in how this is working out, but not in the outcome. I'm disappointed in the ratings of the 96 Anderson, because if the ratings looked correct and then this is the finish, then I would say okay, then we need a new method to pick the peak season. But those ratings, now that I look at them, they do not look correct at all. It's very strange. All right, well, let's see what happens here. We'll quick play these games. 93 Anderson at 95 Anderson. What are my sons for relative ratings and overall ratings? Let's see. Oh, do you mean under scouting right here? The rating scales relative to. They're all relative to MLB, if that's what you mean. For those of you who don't know, Twins34 is super knowledgeable on all things OTP. Helped build the wiki, the OTP wiki. Turn off overall ratings based on all players. Okay. Where am I looking here? Overall rating. Oh, based on all players. Uncheck this. And turn off ratings relative to. Okay. And then rerun scouting. All right. Now let's go back and take a look. It still says he's a 27 home run, 267 hitter. Because I don't think the ratings change. Oh, maybe it would, but this looks exactly the same. Yeah, that's the view rating. The view rating did change. Yes, but the underlying um, ratings and resulting stats did not move at all. I don't think, because I think this was 460. This was definitely 27. I was following you though, Twins. I liked where you were going. It had me optimistic that that might fix it. You think if these were on when it imported? Possibly. It's a pretty severe nerfing though. But anyway, I think these are all display things though, right? Like that's why they're under scouting. And I think that's why the underlying ratings didn't change. But I see what you're saying, though. If these are unchecked when we brought them in, maybe they would be brought in differently. Could be. I mean, the main thing when you're importing is it asks you, where is it? It asks you these nerfing questions, right? But these are small sample size things, and it shouldn't affect, especially shouldn't have affected the 96 Brady Anderson. That was definitely a full season. It is why I was looking at these though, right? We did a recalc. It's a recalc based. It's a 1 year recalc. I get that if this had been set at 3 years, then maybe it's taking a 3 year average, either leading into 96 or around 96. But this is specifically, that's why I made sure this was set on 1 year. Anyway, I will be curious to see what the response from the devs in the forum is. I will post it tomorrow. But yeah, game one, 95 wins it in extra innings, 2 in the bottom of the 10th to walk it off. The 95 Anderson team wins it. When you do a single input for Anderson, is coming in at a 28 home run rate. Yeah, it should be closer to 50. Now, if it was like 48, I would be like, okay. Maybe that's an era difference, right? 96 could be very different from 24. But, the fact that it's, in ours, it was 27. The ones around it were like 23 and 24. So I don't think it's an era difference either. All right, so game one goes to the 95 team. Game two, also the 95 team, also 4-2. Finally, we get a Brady Anderson hitting a home run in the postseason for the 95 team. We have a travel day. 95 leading 2-0. 93 destroys 95, 12-3. The 93 Brady Anderson hitting a home run. '93 beats 95 3-2, tying the series at 2 apiece. 93 wins again, 12-4, now taking a 3-2 series lead. Travel day. 95 wins 5-4, tying the series at 3, forcing a game 7. No Brady Anderson home runs that game either. 95 wins 8-3, taking the series 4-3. The 93, that's despite a home run by the 93 Brady Anderson and average infielder 7 on the 93 team. With no home runs, the 95 team scores 8 runs on 13 hits. Wow. Now, we did say we were also going to look at run scores. So let's look at that, what that looks like. The 93 team had 948 runs scored. That is the most. The 96 team is around the middle of the pack. They did hit the most home runs, though, as a team. All right, the 96 team hit 38, 35, and 35 home runs. It's a lot, but it's way away from 50. And they are facing league average pitching, so I don't think it's the pitching. Okay, so combined, they hit 108 home runs, right? How does that compare to, let's say, 95? 74. So they hit significantly more, but not 2x. 2x is kind of what we're looking for here. And for some reason, for some seasons, 3x. Right? This 92 Anderson who hit 21 home runs, one of them hit 37. And the 50 home run. Now, I get that that's where the probabilistic part comes in, right? Maybe the 50 home run Andersons don't hit 50, but are you talking about the 2003 Oak? Are you talking about the 96 Andersons? Yeah, the OPS pluses are 145, 145, and 124. Versus real life was 156. So so it's coming in lower, especially this one, 124. And part of the reason of having 3 of them on each team is to minimize the issue with the small sample size. So the fact that none of them even got 40 home runs is a little problematic. And that an average infielder, a major league average infielder, had almost as many at 31. Now that's just RNG, but is it RNG that all 3 came in so far below 50? Although this is interesting because Twins, when we're talking Twins, when we're talking about their ratings, right? This says that their ratings should lead to about a 27 home run season. So they did come in well above that. But they also came in well below the 50 that season should be based on. And I get that it's 50 in 1994, right? Well, let's look it up. We know from Baseball Reference. Oops. This is the thing we use before we play a tournament, right? Let's look up 96 versus 2010. Or we're playing in 24. So let's look up 96 versus 24. We're playing in a 24 run environment. 24 versus 96. Home runs. 24 should actually have more home runs. So that 50 should actually be like 51 or barely. It's 0.03 more. But it should still be close to 50. It shouldn't be much lower because of an era-based difference. It should almost be identical. So it's not an era difference. Look at the numbers below, not the ones you can input the numbers in. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I was looking in the wrong place. That's absolutely right. Yeah, what Twins was talking about is I was looking here. We're supposed to be looking here. So it's 30 home runs, which is still too low. Yeah, so this is where you can input numbers and then say, give me the ratings to equal that. This is actually where we should have been looking here, down here. So it's better than 27, but it's still only 30. Which still is way too low. And the average is actually worse. It's 254. He hit 298 that season. Oh, sorry. Sorry. This is what I'm looking at. Twins is saying I should have been looking here, which is absolutely correct. I should have been looking down here at these stats, which is 30 home runs, but a 254 batting average. Twins says it might just be an issue with Brady Anderson because Bonds comes in. But if that's the case, then though the game has much bigger issues then, right? If one It's a database issue. Yeah, but I mean, there's a Barry Bonds in '96 too. I mean, his 50 home runs are in the totals for '96, right? So I don't think there's anything that says like if there is, then it should also be reflected here. Like you would think there would be an issue here too, which I don't think there is. I mean, I think it's worth posing on the forum and asking why is this happening. Well, at least now I won't look like as much of a dummy because Twins corrected me and I'm supposed to be looking here, down here at these totals, and not the one in the boxes. I should be looking down here. So the home runs are three closer, but the batting average is even further away. This says 254. He hit 298 that 297 that year. So oh yeah. If the numbers in the database are wrong, absolutely, it would pull the wrong numbers. But I'm assuming that because this is correct, I'm assuming the database is correct. Like his real life stats in here do say 50 home runs. I assume that the real life stats pulled from the database, but maybe it doesn't. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what the devs say. The other thing too is like if this is wrong somehow, what other players are gonna be wrong? Like you'll never know unless you do something like this. Or you'll have to look at like you'll have to look at this section of every player to say, "Oh, why is that wrong?" That doesn't seem like a good game playing experience. But anyway, let's see what the devs say. I'll be really interested to see like what kind of answer they have to that. I've got a couple of screenshots I can show them. Like, hey, here are his real life stats: 50 home runs. Here's how he imported in. Right, I can even screenshot BREF and say, hey, the eras are not that different from a home run perspective. Why is it giving us a profile that leads to third? I mean, no matter what, a 50 home run guy should not have a 460 power rating. That's the big thing. You don't think it'll be the devs? It'll be one of the database guys. Okay, but I mean, unless it's like a completely way different era, like 96 to 24, it's 30 years, but it's still modern-ish era. 50 home runs should never be a 460 power. That's just wrong right off the bat. And I also screenshot that page showing that we took the 1 year recalc version too. So it can't be it can't be that this 460 is the average of 3 seasons. I mean, one reason I do the 1 year recalc when we do this is because when I import the 96 Brady Anderson, I want the 96 Brady Anderson. I don't want his mediocre years before and after. So if this is not going to work that way, that will be a problem for all the different sims that we do. Like I'm specifically looking for very particular years and profiles when I do this. So, all right, well, let's see. So it makes sense that the run score numbers are not what we expected either, because we're not getting the Brady Anderson we expected. All right, let's give away some packs. That's kind of a disappointing it's a disappointing stream because it's not at all performing the way I thought it would. And I don't mean the sim, I mean the game. I mean, I'm all for the sim not going as expected because like that's how we have fun and learn stuff. That's like the most to me. Those are the most interesting experiences. But I mean, this was an issue even before we started simming. How not like 96 Brady Anderson he looked. Um, I don't even want to look at the face gen. Probably doesn't even have sideburns. Oh no, wait, we have this. We have the face gen up. He doesn't have sideburns. They took away 20 home runs and his sideburns, man. Okay, so even if it's set on 1 year or 3 year, it'll still just grab that 1 year. Okay. See, I always chose the 1 year just in case, but it's good to know that it doesn't matter. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, kind of the sideburns. Look at this. Look at this. No sideburns and missing 20 home runs. 30 home run season here and no sideburns. Recalc only happens at the end of seasons. That's what I thought, Twins, but I was a little worried that when you roll forward to opening day, that it was doing a recalc for the season because it does. I know it does the preseason calculations then, and I think it does the if you have the modifiers on. I think it does a modifier recalc, and I was worried that it was going to do a profile recalc as well. 10 home runs of sideburns is Kynan. Look at this. No sideburns and missing home runs. October 31st or November 1st. Okay. So it's not part of the calculations that happen between when you start the season and when you roll the opening day then. Okay. That's the one reason I chose the 1 year recalc, but at least that's not the problem then. All right. Let's try to give away some packs. Twins, are you streaming these days? So I'll give you a shout out if you are. Super knowledgeable about the game, Twins 34. If he does say he's streaming, you should follow him. Have not yet, but will soon. Yeah, so give Twins 34 a follow. And check out his stream when he starts streaming. All right. Which team will win the most regular season games? I mean, I thought for sure it'd be 96, but that's before we lost 2 sideburns and 20 home runs per player. Per player. So that's 6 sideburns and 60 home runs that that team was missing. All right, so the 95 team won the most games, so that's Kynan. Kynan somehow won that. That's awesome. How did Kynan know that? I'm amazed. How was it not 96? Right now, Twins is working on trying to use a new tournament setup to try to recreate the NCAA playoffs. And if it works, we'll start to work on building NCAA. Are you trying to use a tournament setup to do like the regionals and super regionals too? Or like a NCAA basketball type of bracket tournament? If you can get it to do regional super regionals, that'd be amazing. 95 is when you started growing sideburns factored into my calculations. Okay, well now I have to see. Does the 95 does the 95 Brady Anderson have sideburns? No, no sideburns. How about the 97? No, no sideburns on the 97. 94? Yeah, no sideburns there either. Huh. All right, which team will score the most regular season runs? Yeah, I mean, we had the right player ID kind of, so it's got to be the right guy. They just took his sideburns away. All right, let's see. Most I forgot what team it was, but 93. 93 scored the most runs. So no one gets 93. So we move on. Which team will win the World Series? It was 95, which only Kynan guessed. All right, so now we get to the numericals. So this means, oh wait, no, we have one more. Which team will lose the World Series? It was 93. No one gets 93. All right. So now it's whoever gets closest the most number of times in the numerical guesses. All right. So between 2003 Oak and Late to Hate, it's whoever gets the most of these right. Oh, you can set up to do qualifiers now for tournaments and feed other tournaments into a bigger one. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. How many regular season wins by the regular season champion? That was 88. It was a very tight. The top of the top of the standings were very tight. The top four teams had 82, 83, 86, and 88 wins. But it was 88 wins by the 95 team. So that's 2003 Oak was the closest with 100. I'm not counting Kynan because Kynan's not in the running for second place. How many regular season home runs hit by the league leader in home runs? 2003 Oak, thank you for the follow, despite the disaster of a sim tonight. All right, statistics. The league leader in home runs was a 96, Brady Anderson, with 38. And that is 2003 Oak. Somehow predicted the nerfing. How many regular season stolen bases? Stolen bases. 47 by the 94 Brady Anderson. 47. That's Late to Hate. 2-1 right now. 2 correct here by 2003 Oak. 1 correct here by Late to Hate. All right, regular season RBI by the leader in RBI. Well, yeah, that's true. The 94, yes, they did nerf the stolen bases. Where are the RBI? Oh, there it is. 113 by the 97 by one of the 97 Brady Andersons. 113. So 2003 Oak, 120 closest there. Batting average. 306 by the 92 Brady Anderson. I think 2003 Oak might have clinched it already. OPS, highest OPS in the league. 956 by 92. 956. Yep, 2003 Oak is the closest there. And the highest WAR. Just winning by slightly underestimating. Well, there you go. You just have to find the key each time. The key was to underestimate. 6.3. But you spoke too soon. Late to Hate underestimated that one better. All right. So, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Closest by 2003 Oak for second place. So we got first place is Kynan. Oops. Won the string first. Second place, 2003 Oak. Kynan's tired. Kynan uses the tired excuse. D King uses the I misread the form excuse. All right. Well, I mean, it was this interesting stream, but it was clearly doomed from the beginning because of the way that 96 Brady Anderson imported. So I do have some questions I'll pose to the forum. I think until we hear some answers back, we'll put a pause to these. I think if we can get the right Brady Anderson in, I'd like to run this back. In the meantime, I don't know if it is just the 96 Brady Anderson. Um, does anyone else have a player that's like Brady Anderson had just one really clear standout season, but played long enough to have 8 seasons that we can import? So it can't just be like a one-hit wonder guy, because that player won't have 8 seasons. But it has to be someone who, yeah, Twins did put his actual stats and ran an upgrade, but and yeah, it was 531 is his home run rating. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for doing that, Twins. And Chris Davis. Okay, let's look up Chris Davis. Is that the same Chris Davis who had like the same batting average for like 6 years in a row? Wow, 85, 85 power. All right. First, let's look up Chris Davis. Or was it the Chris Davis with the K who had the same batting average so many years in a row? Let me pull up BREF here real quick. Let's see. Well, he has a few good seasons. He's a 53 home run season and a 47 home run season. Oh, yeah, you are talking about the Chris Davis with a K. All right, let's look up Chris Davis with a K. Oh no, so you did mean this Chris Davis. I think the problem here is he had 2 seasons that were really good, and he had a couple that were very good. Trying to think. I mean, Brady Anderson is the one that's so obvious for me that I've never really thought about another one. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But also, I mean, they might respond pretty quickly in the forums. So I'll show you what Twins is talking about. One of the things you can do is let's go to the 96 Brady Anderson. Actually, let's save this. We just finished the sim. You can go into this Brady Anderson. Let's go ahead and clone this guy. Okay. And we'll go find him in the free agent pool. Oh, I have to run a team. Let's run 96. Okay, now I can go to the free agent pool. Okay, so you can go in here, go in editor, and the way you can use these boxes is you can just go in here and say, I want 50 home runs. And then you can say create current ratings based on these stats. It'll change these ratings to match this stat line. So create current ratings based on stats. And his power goes up to 538, which is an 85 power off scale power. Oh, Kitty Poo Poo says Darren Erstat. Let's take a look. Oh, let's just do Erstat. I knew there was an I in there. I didn't know how many R's were in there. Let's see. Yeah, the spike isn't as spiky, but he only hits 240 hits once. He hits 355. Yeah, from a batting average, this is a great one. 951 OPS. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a pretty good one. All right, thanks, Kitty Poopa. That is a pretty good one. Maybe we can try that tomorrow. So Twin says also start with strikeouts and work backwards, or it seems to mess things up if you do at bats first. Okay. Yeah, I just jumped right in and just boosted his home runs just to see what it would do. He also hit what 297. So what's 550 at bats times 0.257 is 141 hits. Oh, wait a second. That's not right. Oh, 297. 0.2297 is 163 base hits. Right, so his contact number should go up too. It's 326 now. It's 381. And now his expected stat line, maybe because I went out of order, his stat line is now 287 batting average, 55 home runs. .530, 531, 531 is what it comes out to for home run internal ratings. Okay. Yeah, so there's something wrong with that import then. All right, Kynan, have a good night. Congratulations on your win. I'm going to screenshot this too for the forum. Well, Twins, of all the days for you to be here, it was a good one for me that you're here tonight. You need to add them all in, doubles, triples, home runs, all of it at the same time, and his at bat was 5. Oh, that's right. I would have to adjust this. Yeah. Yeah, so we have to keep doing this until this balances out to. Yeah, okay. I see. Okay, that's. Okay, 297 average, 50 home runs. I mean, the doubles and triples I don't really care about being exact on, but if. Yeah, 381 contact, 538 power. So you want me to put in his actual stat line from? I mean, I could do that. All right, so at 96 he had 579 at bats, 172 hits, 37 doubles, 5 triples, 50 home runs, 76 walks, hit by pitches. Wow, led the league with 22 hit by pitches. And 106 strikeouts. Yeah, I don't think it changed it too much. But yeah, I mean, this would be what it should be, I guess. Yeah. Also down here, well, it's still down here though. It's still giving me because of the era difference. In 04, in 24, it's gonna give 55 home runs and a slightly lower batting average, which probably makes sense. It's a lower hit environment now. It's a slightly higher power strikeout environment. So his strikeouts are up in 24, right? Because we're in a 24 run environment. But yeah, I'll screenshot this for the. But yeah, these are now more similar, I think is what you're saying. Yeah, 1034 is the OPS in BREF. This is 1030, 1052, 295. The slugging is 637 in OPS. Yeah, I don't know why those are different, but oh, because this is 30. Oh, why did this go up to 53 home runs? 550, 22, 570, 579, 172, 37, 550, 76, 22, 106. Yeah, strangely, they're not exactly the same. The slugging is, the average is, the on base percentage is a little off. The OPS is off by just 2 points. But more importantly, when I generate the ratings, then this at least is in the 50s. Yeah, I will be very interested to see what the devs come back with. All right, let's see who we're going to raid into tonight. Midnight Sumo is doing a sumo replay. We usually don't read into the replays. None of my music streamers are up tonight, probably because it's Sunday night. So we'll probably raid into Ophi. Yep. This is my usual hangout after streaming. Oh wait, let me see if there's anyone streaming OTP first. If there is someone I know out here, nope, no one streaming OTP. So we will raid one of my usual post-streaming hangouts. Is a pixel artist. Usually does embroidery and cross-stitching on stream. Super chill chat. Super chill stream. I like it for decompressing after streaming and then doing drafts and stuff before I go to bed. And maybe I'll get lucky and have another draft like where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. There it is. My daily snacking hour victory. Maybe I'll get lucky. One of my drafts tonight, while watching Ophi and Stitch, will be this successful. 100 Clubhouse, or was it Clubhouse Stars? I'm gonna use probably 80 of them to buy some more gold packs. Try to get some live cards for PT Live. But thanks for being here, everybody. We still don't know if this approach is valid because we didn't have the right Brady Anderson here. If we don't hear back from the devs before tomorrow's stream, and I am streaming tomorrow at 10 p.m. Pacific time, I do think Kitty Poo Poo's suggestion of Darren Erstad is pretty good. So maybe we'll do Darren Erstad. The other one I was thinking about was I think he has too many good other seasons, but in 87, there were several players who had sudden spikes in power. And one of them was Andre Dawson, but I do think he had too many other good seasons. That it won't stand out enough to be a clear. So in 87, he hits 49 home runs. He hit 30 home runs only 2 other times. So, yeah, 2003 Oak says Dawson might be good too. The main difference with Brady Anderson, though, is Brady Anderson's spike was more than 2x any other season. Who else had big? 87 was a year of like a lot of 87 was a big year for a big spike in power. So batting leaders, right? Batting standard batting. Does it have batting leaders in here? Oh, it does. I can sort by home runs. Okay, Dawson McGuire, they hit lots of home runs anyway. Who here might have had a crazy high? I mean, Joyner hit 34. That probably seems out of character for him. He had 34. He never hit. It's the only year he hit 30. Oh! Drew, thank you. Davey Johnson. That's right. Former Mets manager as a player. He had a 40 something home 40 is 43 home run season. Let's see. Yeah, 43 home runs. His other bests are 18, 15, and 2 10s. All right. Tomorrow night, Davey Johnson simulation. If the 1973 Davey Johnson does not win this format, we know this format is not going to work. Twins 3-4 also come with Luis Gonzalez. Let's see. Is it I'm Drew or Im Drew? Thank you for the Davey Johnson. I was aware of his playing career because as the Mets manager, I looked him up and was impressed that he had 43 home runs until I saw that he didn't do anything else. But that was a great one there. Okay, so Gonzalez had a 57 home run season here. It is more than 2x's next best season of 28. Okay. So the next two streams, we're going to test this out with Davey Johnson and Luis Gonzalez. And maybe Darren Erstad too. All right, we're gonna keep this going. And it will be interesting if the Davey Johnson profile comes in, and when we go into editor and it says 25 home runs, I might throw my computer out the window. But yeah, thank you for those suggestions. Those are all really good ones. But we'll do Davey Johnson first because that is the biggest of the big jumps. It's even bigger than Brady Anderson. And if I recall, I don't think he had sideburns, so you have to worry about him losing. So we'll try out Davey Johnson. All right. I'm glad that the raid got delayed a little bit, so we got those inputs. Gonzalez, Johnson, and Erstad. Sims incoming. All right, thanks everybody, and Twins again. Thank you as always for your insights into how the game works. Drew, I'm Drew. Thank you for the follow as well. Hopefully, we'll see you again. And if you get here early enough, you can enter into the pack giveaway. We gave away 10 packs tonight. I'll give away 10 packs again tomorrow night. All right, have a good night, everybody. Hopefully you'll hang out with me for a while in Ophi stream. I'll be there doing drafts. But I see you tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Pacific.